yeah, that was...
Yeah, sorry. If you were like a normal student who was here till they're finished, you know, we would not fly today, but you're on a strict timeline.
So I came here to try to knock out the multi-instrument rating in less than a week and got pretty humbled.
This is so gross, man. I feel like we're in a diving right-hand turn. Diving. I think it's pulled some G's or something, and some of these bumps in my vestibular is telling me we're diving. It stopped now.
Okay, are you up for another one?
Yeah, this is definitely like pushing my physical limits, but it's a good exercise.
It can only get better after this, so.
Sitting on the airliner on the way home from Winnipeg, I was definitely in the midst of a bit of an existential crisis. So some backstory, in about 2018, I got my multi-engine rating in one of these. Then I got the instrument rating in one of those. But then I didn't use it at all while building this. The RV14 came online in about 2021, and I had skipped right from a 6-pack all the way up to the latest and greatest in glass avionics with full touchscreens. I did a bunch of training with these avionics, which felt like getting a whole new rating.
This one we're going to hand fly.
And then I proceeded to do about 150 operational IFR hours flying this thing all over the place, from Chicago to Houston to Kansas, and of course to Oshkosh. So I had no IFR experience in the middle ground G1000 world, which did not set me up for success on this trip. I was due for an IPC, which is the instrument proficiency check that we have to do every 24 months in Canada. This would have been my second one after getting the rating in 2020, basically. So I thought instead of doing that, I would go for the multi-instrument flight test, which would have superseded the IPC, but I got humbled.
The instrument rating is not an achievement, it's a commitment. And like anything else in your life, if you take time off from it, either mentally or physically, it's going to erode. You're going to atrophy the skill. At the rate at which it does depends on the individual entirely. But there's certainly things you can do to mitigate the atrophy. Simulator time, head in the books, going for review flights when you can. Yeah, definitely something that can't be overstated is the importance of currency in IFR flying, especially if you're going to do it in the weather for real.
And do you want to talk about the difference between currency and recency and proficiency? Like currency is legal requirements, recency is how, because people try to mix that all up. It's like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, so there's a huge difference between, currency, recency, and proficiency. To just tick a box that, I'm current, I'm legally able to fly. Big difference between being proficient. And especially if you're going to launch single pilot operations into the weather, you need to have, the self-reflection and awareness that, like, hey, am I ready to do this? Am I prepared? Yeah, like my piece of paper says I do, but the piece of paper isn't going to keep you safe and alive when things get real. Flying IFR on a beautiful sunny day just to be in the system, that's one thing, but to do it on a day where the weather is low and there's wind and maybe icing decision makings we have to make, that's a totally different thing. So every pilot needs to be self-aware enough to know, like, yeah, I'm legal, but am I actually qualified? Am I really qualified and proficient to do this? Because that's really all that matters when you're up there.
And I was lacking all three of those things at the start of this process. I had taken the RV14 offline for the winter to work on a bunch of snag fixes and some modifications leading into the annual inspection, which took a lot longer than anticipated. And the only flying I'd done at all was like ultra VFR cubbing.
Wow.
This has been fun to edit.
This is stunning.
And I wanted to share a quick scene from an upcoming episode before we get back into the painful aspects of the multi-IFR training from this one.
Landing after a big valley. Oh, so pretty.
After some STOL review training in the Super Patriot Mark II with Trevor, I got to show Jill what this type of flying is like.
And that's how it's supposed to be in these things, bumpy?
That's okay.
We land firm because we're landed short.
Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my god, look at this place.
Look good. I'm going to swing back around and go land. Just past that tree. Yep, perfect spot right there.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous here.
So that's some great stuff coming up soon, but let's get back to this one. It was not the story that I set out to tell, but I captured some great takeaways and learning moments while I suffered through this. I'd focused a lot of my preparation on bookwork and studying because I didn't have access to a G1000, and I thought the flying portion would just come back to me, but I was wrong.
Yeah, so here in Steinbach, Manitoba, we're operating the Tecnam P2006T, which is an Italian-built trainer.
And they've got a serious sim setup to match the actual airplane. I got this B-roll of Emily getting ready for her test before one of my sim sessions. One notch selected, gear coming down. This was a great learning moment from my final sim session before getting into the actual airplane. I got a right hand CHT high, so I'm gonna pull the power back on the right engine. I gotta get the autopilot disengaged. So, am I looking for fire or anything? It was hot.
Yeah, you're on fire.
Okay, so fuel's coming off, and feather to right. Fuel pump can come off. So there was no need to do any cost check because that was unhappy. Yeah, I can't go any slower than this.
No.
So it's really taking full power. Is that what it would be in real life?
Yeah,
feathered.
Pretty close to that.
Okay, that was 100 to go for minimums.
He's scanning.
The multi-engine rating has a heavy emphasis on being able to keep it under control during a single engine go-around. In the IFR training, there's a heavy emphasis on not busting approach minimums. So we're in a sim preparing for a flight test, and that's the mindset that I'm in, which Luke is going to slap me for. There's minimums. I don't got it, so I'm going to have to go. Can't do the flaps right now. This is how you die. I was already at full power on the good engine, and it quickly became apparent I was in a really bad spot. I do not have positive rate. Luke was about to make it worse to solidify this lesson. Did you just fill both my engines?
Yeah.
Great. I got a runway now. Gears up, let's put it back down. Well, I'm gonna wait on, I got 20 seconds, so. What would you do in real life?
Field in sight?
Yeah. I'd probably wait.
Gear down now.
I gotta wait 20 seconds, but I wouldn't want to put the gear down and not make the field.
True.
Yeah, we're not gonna make the field because of that. We could have belly landed it. Hitting the fence. So I would not have put the gear down because I wasn't sure the 20 seconds would have made it.
You made it, man.
Of course, I wasn't on center line. All right. Sheesh.
I had to punish you for your going around there.
Because you don't think I should have gone?
Absolutely not. You could see the ground.
So just keep going because
Keep going.
it's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
Okay.
To launch back into the unknown, greater risk.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said this is how you die.
So I had to, yes, and I punished you when you said that. So.
Okay. Cool.
Good. Very good.
Okay, let's go flying for real in the second last training session and one of the most difficult flights due to the extreme conditions with really gusty winds.
All right. Threats. This is a pretty windy day, but it's down the pipe.
So yeah, maybe rotate a little later.
Okay, just so we're not like vulnerable.
Yep. 70 knots.
Okay.
After departure, I got under the hood for what would be nearly a full hour on instruments, and the effects of the constant turbulence definitely started to mess with me fairly early in the flight.
All right, X-ray Yankee Tango, got the holding clearance when you're ready.
Go ahead for the clearance, X-ray Yankee Tango.
X-ray Yankee Tango, yeah, we got landing traffic at Steinbach South, so we're gonna need you to hold on TAMV. So when able, you're cleared direct TAMV, and you can hold northeast inbound 220.
Stand by, unable right now. Something's happening here that I don't like. Or that's a crab. That's what's going on?
Yes, Steve.
Okay.
You have a 40 knot crosswind.
Alright, I just saw it turning and I was like, why is it turning off heading? But okay. Sorry.
No, the track is perfect.
Yep, no, I'm good. I just started making a turn and I saw it trending. I'm like, I don't like it. So I was like, comms comes next.
George is like, I got this.
George. Yeah. I'm still trying to make friends, George.
But I'm glad you noticed that it was doing that. That's fantastic.
ATC comes like last.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry about that, ATC. I'm back with you, and you can pick that up. I'm clear direct TAMV, just looking for the direction of the hold.
Not a problem. You are clear direct TAMV when able. You can hold northeast inbound 220, left turns with 3-mile legs, and you can report establish. You can expect further clearance time of 2330.
This is so weird. Okay. X-ray Yankee Tango is clear direct Tanvi, going to hold northeast inbound 220, left turns 3 mile legs. We'll report established. Forward time is 2330. I didn't catch the altitude, but I'm good at 3000.
X-ray Yankee Tango, you can descend to 2,800 for the hold.
2,800 for the hold, X-ray Yankee Tango. Did you say an altitude or did I just miss it?
No, I missed it.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to get into here. Flight plan.
The challenges around working with the avionics is worthy of a follow-up from the next flight when it completely went south. That one is also in challenging conditions for different reasons. But let's cut to that for a minute from when I did something right while tripping over the FMS.
Yeah, so other common errors, pitfalls of the new multi-IFR student that I see, the utilization of ATC, using ATC as a resource. So this was actually something I was able to see you doing quite well in some of our flights.
X-ray Tango, turn left direct Cat-C.
Left direct Cat-C, can I get initial heading for that?
X-ray Tango, fly heading 020 until able direct Cat-C.
020 until able direct Cat-C, X-ray Tango.
Managing the workload. There's a big emphasis on flight management in this rating and managing, the cockpit yourself, ATC, the environment around you. There's a lot for the new pilot to manage. So I was really pleased to see you, when you were starting to get a little overwhelmed, ATC is telling you, go direct this fix. And meanwhile, you're just coming out of a missed approach from another approach and you're not ready yet. So, and you told them such. You said, give me an initial heading. That was fantastic. That's not what I see a lot of new students doing, is they feel that whatever ATC says goes, okay, they cleared me to a fix that I don't even have in my flight plan. I'm not ready, but they're acknowledging, okay, cleared direct, and meanwhile they're scrambling, trying to program the autopilot and get the FMS set up, slowing things down, controlling the narrative. Remember, ATC doesn't know what's going on in that cockpit. They don't know, two crews, single crew sometimes, training, what level of experience. So it's up to you to manage that situation. So if you need more time, you need help, ask for it. Utilize them as a resource. I like to think of they work for you, the pilot, not the other way around.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, it's going to keep an eye on it while it's in a turn, actually.
You'll notice on this flight that I don't have the GDL52 out. I hadn't brought a proper way to mount it, and just leaving it sitting on the dash like I did on the previous rainy flight, it wasn't going to work because it was bouncing around. But I do want to give a huge shout out to SiriusXM Aviation. Everything I fly, I use their data, whether it's the Super Patriot on a snowy day or the RB14 that has a built-in receiver. This information gives you so much additional situational awareness. I definitely think it's a game changer. Huge recommendation, and thanks for supporting the channel. Now let's get back to watching me get my butt kicked.
Let's maybe slow down an inch of manifold pressure.
This is doing all kinds of wacky stuff to my vestibular, man. Keep feeling like different. It's not agreeing with that, which is cool. So I have to really believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I think that was a bit of what happened when it started that turn while I was trying to hold, and I felt weird. I saw weird, and I didn't see a thing I liked. I was like, I need to just focus here for a second.
No, that was fantastic. Even if it was all fine, you need to know that it's fine.
Right.
It's great.
Because I'm still not trusting that I'm right.
Yeah,
so
no, that's good.
Sure.
It was a great moment.
We happy with what we're looking at?
We're looking good. Very good. Good work.
Getting there. Getting there.
And you're doing it on the rodeo horse here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at RNAV 18, and okay, that was weird. It feels like we're in a diving right-hand turn right now.
Oh, man.
Completely.
Oh.
Okay. But it's not. Believe the instruments.
No, cross-check to standby. Everything is agreeing.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be entering the hold in 2 miles. 2600 is the recommended. Okay, I'm going to just watch it enter. Hold parallel. Do you agree it's just time to be quiet while it does its maneuvering?
Yes.
Yeah. It's tempting to go do something, but...
Nope. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Like if you were doing this in the clouds, I mean, this takes all your concentration.
Because there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
It'd be balls to do a flight test on a day like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to get ahead of this call before I forget to do it, because we're so close, 0.2 miles. So it's Winnipeg, it's X-ray Yankee Tango, crossing Tanvi, establishing the hold.
X-ray Yankee Tango, roger. Next time past Tamvi, you are cleared for the RNAV 18 approach at Steinbeck South.
Okay, next time past Tamvi, we're cleared for the RNAV 18 Steinbeck South, X-ray Yankee Tango.
It's like being in a CB or something. Constant shaking.
Yeah, I haven't been pushed into my belt though yet, so it's not that bad. It's just more lateral.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones where you actually have to tighten your belt and hit your head on the canopy, that sucks.
You can't have a multi-engine training flight without an engine failure, so let's go have one on the approach.
Speed's good, gear's coming down, yeah?
Go. And just as you did that, simulated.
Okay, so dead foot is right. I'm gonna go full props. I'm gonna go full throttle. I'm gonna not let myself descend too much. I'm gonna check things. Am I on fire?
Yes.
Okay, so we gotta shut it down right now. Feather, the right, and fuel's coming off.
Feathered.
So now the objective is to maintain a zero slip condition while hand flying.
So anytime you're not operating with equal thrust on both sides of the airplane, so in multi-engine training, this is a huge percentage of your training is dealing with engine out procedures. When the airplane is configured in what we call zero side slip, you're banking the airplane and applying just enough rudder so that the adverse yaw, the yawing moment of the operating engine is countered by the bank of the airplane, so it minimizes drag, so the airplane flies in a more streamlined fashion, the relative airflow being parallel, not hitting the side of the airplane, so it's a cleaner aerodynamic setup.
Okay, did we make the traffic call? I don't think we did.
Steinbeck South traffic, X-ray Yankee Tango, 5 mile final, 18 simulated engine failure, Steinbeck South.
Okay, so I'm right of track, so I'm gonna let myself drift into it. 'Cause that's what the wind wants to do anyway.
But we can't maintain altitude on one engine with the gear down, so we have to do this as a constant descent all the way to the runway. So we'll try to really time this. Keep an eye on your distance from the runway. Okay, good work. Stay with it. The airplane won't maintain altitude on one engine to one, so you can't level off. So we have to be looking outside.
Oh, am I allowed to look out yet?
Do it now.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Okay, transition to landing. In fact, I'm gonna actually take control for 2 seconds.
You have control.
I don't want you to land single engine in this wind. It's not a smart move.
Yeah.
So this will
We
be
did that once today already.
This will be a normal 2-engine landing, and you have the controls right now.
Okay, I have control.
So in these winds, 75 knots over the threshold.
Roger.
With full flaps, and the gear we got 3 greens.
So short final, it'll be full flaps, full prop.
But just do the flaps now. Mile final, good time to do it.
Steinbeck South traffic, X-ray Yankee Tango, 1 mile final, full stop, Steinbeck South.
A little high, but then again the wind, so this might work.
This is gonna be not a problem.
Okay, we're planning to cross at 75.
Yep. Don't hold off the nose.
Because of the wind?
Yeah.
Yep.
This entire raw flight, as well as a bunch of the STOL training flights, are currently available to Patreon supporters. Huge thanks for helping out with the sustainability of the productions over there. And until the next one, keep your flight chops sharp.
Hold it. There you go.
So yeah, it ended up being a pretty good crosswind from the left.
Yeah. Even 10 degrees off the center line is a lot of crosswind when it's this much velocity.
Oh yeah.
So that flight definitely kicked my butt. However, the next day, it basically broke me, and that'll be its own episode.
I don't know what the hell happened there. See, I was on the freaking ILS. Yeah. God damn it. So after the approach, I left it in ILS mode. Never.
Yep.
You're probably watching it the whole time, being like, "When's he gonna notice that?"
Yep.
Yeah. So dumb.
Yesterday, it all kind of collided, right? We had IMC conditions, we're thinking about icing maybe, multiple approaches at different airports. It was everything, the full gamut. Yeah, I mean, for sure, it kind of stopped our plans with our really tight timeline, for sure. But any other student does make that same mistake, and we would just spend time in the sim, in the airplane, getting that right, getting the scan honed in. So this is not like a, end of days issue that you have here. It's a common issue. We can train you out of that, what you're used to, and get the scan tight again. We're just looking at a few more flights, a lot more sim for sure. You'd be spending your whole day in the simulator right now, going through the last flights and your workflows and getting that solid, and then we try it again on Monday.